go to another dark team.
It is Halloween.
Yeah, that's true. Las Vegas and Cleveland.
Mm.
Mm.
This was
Hmm.
really shit. I thought this was going to be like Bomb City, baby. I thought it was going to be touchdowns everywhere. And yeah, at the half, I think I was asleep. Yeah, it was sluggish, but I tell you what, the Browns flattering to deceive again. 16-6 was not pretty. But the Raiders, like I said, they do bounce back. They keep bouncing back. This was a good test for them. Because you could argue right now that they're kind of around Browns territory. A lot of weapons, a lot of great assets, not quite clicking as much as you'd expect. So this was a good test, and passed the test. It was it a fancy game? No, but I'll tell you what, you restricted a very high-powered Browns offense to 6 points. That's impressive.
Yes.
Their defense really showed up. I was impressed with that. Offensively, we would like to see more.
They also knocked out Myles Garrett. He's hurt. And that's a big loss for Cleveland.
It is. Odell Beckham Jr., you can cover for that. Jarvis Landry, again, he was very active. I think he's a better wideout for this scenario. I think him and Baker Mayfield have a much better chemistry. I think as much as I want to rip the Browns, because it's the Browns, fuck the Cleveland Browns and all this, and I'm sure you do because they're in your division. But I will say one thing, they've lost a lot of good moving parts, and they're still pushing away and trying their best, and I kind of admire that. They're very unfortunate that they're also in a division with the Ravens and the Steelers, and the Bengals, if they can click a little bit more, might end up fucking right up their arseholes too. You just don't know. But what worries me is you still have Baker Mayfield out there, you had Jarvis Landry out there, you still had Kareem Hunt, you got 6 points. Not good enough. Not good enough. This is a Raiders defense that shipped 40 last week. Now, admittedly, that's to who I think is the best team in the NFL right now, the Bucs. After the Steelers, they're at least the best in the NFC for my mind, and not necessarily the most high-powered, but I think they're the best overall. And yeah, 6 points is paltry, mate. That's not good. That's not good.
No,
not good at all. There's some alarming traits going on here. And if they don't do it this season, what are they going to do? Turf the head coach, bring another guy in. That's great. What's he going to do? Odell Beckham Jr., they reckon, has played his last game for this franchise. There's a lot of discussion about him, apparently, as soon as he gets fit, trading him out, getting rid of him. He hasn't clicked. This is a guy who's supposed to be, the David Beckham of American football. He's supposed to be the elitist athlete. He's supposed to be the best wide receiver. Absolutely not. Absolutely not the best wide receiver in the game. Mike Evans is much better, in my opinion. Claypool fucking has come alive. Chase
Claypool.
There's a lot of guys who could vie for that. I mean, hello, Metcalf and Lockett are taking the piss. Metcalf again, Jesus. What? He's not human.
He is not human.
No, he's just amazing. It's like when Adrian Peterson went fucking ballistic that season. Metcalf has just come alive, and he's just a tank as well. He's a huge eyes. It's fucking amazing. I think Odell Beckham Jr., believes his own hype too much. He's a big diva. He works hard. Don't get me wrong. He still works hard, and I appreciate his passion. He's not a horrible young man by any means. He shouldn't be buried in the media, but at the same time, I just think Cleveland won't miss him that much. But they've got more immediate issues. Got to get more protection as well. Baker Mayfield. They went out and got some good moving parts, and they improved that offensive line a lot, and that looked good early in the season. You thought, hello, this division is going to be insane. You're going to have the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Browns all undefeated going into week 10 or whatever, and they slipped. They slipped away, and this is another crucial loss for them. The Raiders just hovering around, hoping to sneak around. I'll tell you what, the Raiders would have been very excited with what happened in that Broncos game, because for them, it opens the door for them to sneak in the wild. They'll be floating around, and I think the Raiders could end up causing. And I'll tell you what, if they had a full stadium, in the Death Star, the black hole, and everything, scared shitless out in that red hot desert in Vegas, mate, make a big difference. It's a shame they're not the Oakland Raiders anymore. I appreciated that. I appreciated the vibe that you got. Inglewood, baby, Inglewood, California. Ice Cube and the like, and I like that sort of stuff. But they've maintained the culture very well. So
for sure. The only thing of note that everybody's talking about is that there was a gale warning during this game, and it was raining and sleeting. Like the winds were getting up to like 50
Yeah, it
miles per
was.
hour.
Yeah, did you see the field goal early in the game? Amazing, amazing. It was like the opening scene of Wizard of Oz when the house gets taken away. Fucking amazing. It was like, ping, and it's on its it just fucking went. It was like the ball sort of went, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna. Do you know what? Don't fancy the fucking goalpost this week. Bye. Just fucking left the stadium. Where you going, you little cunt? Just mental. Yeah, it was tough, and obviously that made conditions very difficult. But if you're Cleveland, especially, you play outdoors. So, you know what? I don't want to hear excuses from you. If anything, you had the advantage as the Raiders that were, playing doors now in Las Vegas, admittedly, but even then, like, come on, Oakland, California is not exactly a hotbed of winter, is it? Like, so, yeah, I don't think that's that much of an excuse. And Cleveland, regarded as a cold place a lot of the time. It's a tough place. The dog pound.
Right. The Browns are on a bye this week, and they need it because not only do they have Garrett down, they've got Mayfield, who's still got his ribs injured. Landry's got rib injuries. Tight end Austin Hooper didn't play for the second straight week due to an appendectomy. And Nick Chubb's been out since week 4 with a knee injury, and he's starting to come back. God, do they need Nick Chubb? Because
I don't think Nick Chubb, actually. I don't think they need Nick Chubb that badly. I don't. I think Kareem Hunt has filled the gap quite nicely. The 1-2 punch obviously makes it more deadly, there's no question. But I don't think that's the key to them winning games. I think the key to them winning games is, well, first of all, Jarvis Landry needs to pick up the slack that Odell Beckham Jr. is left behind, because he's done. He's done for the season.
He needs Rashad Higgins to step up.
Higgins he went walkies this week. They were all fucking talking big shit about Higgins from his display last week. Where was he this week?
Nowhere.
Exactly. Really
he had one catch for 14 yards.
Bingo. Right there. I don't trust Baker Mayfield as well. Although I think he's okay, he's not an elite quarterback. I've said this before. And I also think that he's got a bit of an attitude problem when it comes to linking up with certain players. If he doesn't like you or you've upset, he seems quite sensitive. And if you upset him or he's got a problem with it, he won't throw the ball to you. How can Higgins go off like he did last week and you don't fucking like? The thing is, right, with the weather the way it was, a lot of people were saying in the build-up to these games, the key is running the ball. You got to pound the ball, pound it down into the floor. They didn't really do that.
No. Kareem Hunt had 14 carries for 66 yards.
Yeah, see, that worries me a little bit because that Raiders defense is not like, they do shit points and they're not that good at defending the run. So, I don't know. I think ultimately what's happened here is that a lot of people are expecting Cleveland to be an elite team, and they're just not. They're just not good enough to be elite. I think they are maybe a 9-7 team. I think they look around that region, which is really good when you consider the Browns' history. Don't get me wrong. They've definitely improved them from what they used to be.
I might see them as a wild card.
Yeah, they might squeeze in as a wild card. Like I say, it's unfortunate you're in such a competitive division with the Steelers and the Ravens as well. But at the end of the day, that. It's not like it's been thrust upon you last minute. This has been a thing for a long time now. That's like you should be used to that. There's just no excuse. I just think ultimately a lot of it comes down to a culture. And their culture, their team's culture is one of flattering to deceive. They're either absolutely dreadful or they labour at the best of times. And if you look at some of their more high-profile wins, like the Cowboys, we've worked out that it's not an achievement putting up points on the Cowboys because they are fucking dreadful.
They barely beat the Bengals.
Yeah,
and that's
should have rung alarm bells right there.
Mm-hmm.
Their wins, I'm looking at their wins, and even though they're obviously a winning team right now, I look at all their wins, and they're all against pretty miserable teams.
Yeah.
I've not watched the Browns once this season and thought that was a statement win.
No, they really haven't had a statement win. Oh, they've played Cincinnati twice. And
exactly. Yeah, and they barely beat them.
Barely beat them both games. Yeah.
Yeah, they beat Washington. Fuck off. Cowboys. Fuck off. The Colts is their statement win, by far.
Yeah.
Everything else, when they played the Steelers, they got blown out. Lost by 31 points.
When they played the Baltimore Ravens, they lost by 32.
Blown out by even more.
Yeah.
They played the Ravens and Steelers, got utterly rogered. They played the Cowboys. Now they threw an insane amount of points up, but they also almost completely binned it at the end as well. That was just a crazy anomaly of a game with two teams that don't know how to defend.
Right.
But the Browns have improved, but they're still shit by comparison to a lot of teams around them. That's the end of it.
Good.
The problem is a lot of the parts they brought in are all nice and shiny. Oh, Odell Beckham Jr., he's a stud. Oh, Jarvis Landry's a great wideout. Oh, Hunt and Chubb can run the ball great. Yeah, but that's great. But ultimately, Baker Mayfield is not elite. He's an average quarterback at best. He's not a fucking, he's not elite. He's not that good. He's okay. And a lot of their players are just okay. Their defense is pretty shit too.
What did you say they could be? 9-7?
I think 9-7 if you're lucky.
The next games after their bye. Yeah, after their bye, they've got Houston, Philly, Jacksonville, the Titans, Baltimore, the Giants, the Jets, and Pittsburgh.
Take out Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That is a very favorable schedule.
Minus Tennessee.
Yeah, but even then, look at what they did today. If they turn up and play that way in the dog pound, Cleveland could have a decent time of it. It's weird because I don't think they're all that. But I look at that schedule, I see teams like the Jets. Come on, the Jets.
I honestly don't think the Jets are winning a game this year.
I honestly don't care. I think they should just liquidate them. They should create a giant blender the size of the Empire State Building, and they should just get everything that belongs to the Jets and dump it in the blender.
Jets and Giants, and just blend it up and turn it into one.
Just get rid of anything that's green. Just leave the blue stuff. The Giants at least have won a fucking Super Bowl in the modern era. Jesus Christ. It's been a long time since anyone gave two monkeys about the Jets. They suck dick. I'm not fuck the Jets. Fuck. Dreadful. You deserve to be dreadful as well. You got a culture of being a bunch of whingy losers. You're pathetic.
Yeah.
You're pathetic garbage. You're absolute hot fucking garbage. Go and drown in a lake or something. Nobody cares.
Great segue. We'll go from.
So anyway, Browns. I think the Browns might squeeze in a wild card. Look at that schedule. Easy games. There's a lot of easy games there. Take out the Steelers and the Ravens. I still think they've got a good chance of beating the Titans, especially if the Titans are going to continue on the downward slope they are. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, if Henry goes down, there could be a big trouble, especially. So you've got to hope that he's a moving part coming back to the end of the season. But, I'm looking at the Texans. Don't think that'd be a big problem. The Eagles suck dick. There's a lot of teams there. Oh, wow, you beat the Cowboys. I'm so impressed. But no. Anyway, the Jets. You want to talk about the Jets, don't you?
Let's segue